1st to the 5th, I went to Arizona to visit my grandparents. And well, quite a lot actually happened. So let's start from the beginning. 13 billion years ago, the Big Bang occurred, forming the universe we know today, which then takes us to 5 a.m. on Friday. Several hours earlier, however, I went to sleep earlier than I normally would because we had to wake up at 5 to get ready for our flight. So I was supposed to go to bed at night at 9:30. You know, get a nice 7.5 hours of sleep before we leave. But, and I kid you not, my brain just forgot how to fall asleep. Yes, I had a brain fart so large that I literally forgot how to fall asleep.
This is big brain time.
My Nana said it was probably just from being anxious, but it was still really dumb. But despite that, for some reason, I wasn't even tired at all the whole day. My brain clearly has all sorts of issues. Anyways. We had a layover in Denver, which, by the way, the Denver airport is freaking huge. In fact, the Denver airport is the 2nd largest airport in the world in terms of size. And sure, it's pretty cool to be able to tell people you've been to the world's 2nd largest airport, but that also makes it take forever to get around. You see, our plane exited at gate like B7, and our flight was at gate like B29. Sure, that might not seem too terribly bad, but here's the way the Denver airport is laid out. You'll have like maybe 4 gates in a row on each side, and they'll be really spaced out, by the way. Like, they have a moving sidewalk just so you can get from gate 1 to gate 4. And then they'll have like a bunch of restaurants and shops, followed by 4 more gates, repeat. And due to that, it took us like 25 minutes just to walk between the 2 gates. Just wait till we get back from Arizona. On the flight to Arizona, we flew over the Rocky Mountains, which was a massive upgrade from just looking at wheat fields. However, you see, I didn't have the window seat this time. My brother did, who's autistic, okay? Don't make fun of him, otherwise—
I'll game in you, myself.
However, I still wanted to take pictures of the mountains. Now, Patrick would always be looking out of the window right next to his seat, so I thought I would take the photos using the window that was half shared with the people in front of us. Even though most of the time he wasn't even looking out that window, he would still get mad that I was using it. Come on, Patrick. Did you ever learn that sharing is caring? Maybe that we need communism kid was right. That was a joke. That was a joke, FBI. Please don't put me on a watch list. We landed in Tucson, and we just stood outside the airport like, now what? We were supposed to get picked up by my Nana, but we couldn't find her. She was there, apparently, but apparently she would always pick people further down than where we were. So it's pretty much just me, Mom, and Patrick standing there awkwardly for 10 minutes while Dad just confusedly walked back and forth texting Nana. We eventually found her and went to their house. Also, some context you might need later for in the video. My papa had surgery on his leg in January, and well, his leg is still in pain since then. So he was in a cast while we were there in crutches. And he also has a wheelchair. Anyways, we stayed at the house for a while, which was fine for me because they had an amazing view from the backyard to look at. Anyways, that night for dinner, we went to a Mexican restaurant. And I mean, dinner was fine. I liked the food. Although, as you already know, Patrick is autistic. And because of that, he likes to flap his arms around and stuff like that. He was actually pretty well behaved most of dinner, although he did start doing it a few times, which is pretty normal to begin with. After that happens though, this old lady puts her hand on Mom, which is pretty weird to begin with, and goes, "Thanks for bringing him out in public." Lady, what on earth do you expect us to do? Oh, sorry Patrick, all of us are going out to eat, but we're just gonna leave you here by yourself instead. And look, I understand that kind of stuff can be very annoying. On our flight home, there was a baby crying about a quarter of the flight. Did I not like it? Absolutely. Did I go up to the mom and go, "Thank you for bringing your stupid crying baby on the plane"? No! So my message to you, lady. Anyways, that night, we had to figure out the sleeping situation for me, because there weren't enough beds to go around, and Dad was already sleeping on their couch. So, they got out their air mattress, and it was fine enough. However, in the middle of the night, I woke up extremely uncomfortable. I checked the time, and it was only 2 in the morning. I was already annoyed because I wanted to get up, but the fact that it was 2 made me extra annoyed, because it would still be about 5 hours before everyone else would wake up. And why was I so uncomfortable, you might ask? Well, the mattress apparently deflated on its side, and so I was sleeping leaning over. So I just ended up sleeping on their carpet. Saturday was one of my favorite days of the whole trip. We started the morning off by going outside on their porch and having Nana take some great photos of the family. After that, that, we went swimming at their community athletic club. Then we had lunch there. It's actually pretty large. Also, it's right next to a golf course. So while everyone else was standing around waiting to be seated, me and Dad watched some of the golfers. And, one guy began searching in a cactus for his golf ball. I bet that was really fun. Ow! This is definitely worth out! Not just going to the out store and buying a new out. Anyways, lunch was really good. Then after that, we decided to go up to the Madrea Canyon. And I don't really have a joke for this. It was actually really beautiful. Not for Patrick though. He looked up for like maybe a minute and then sat back in the car for the rest of the time. We were probably up in the mountains for a good like 45 minutes or so. After that, we went back to the athletic center. Nana had to pick up their golf cart as they left it behind at the athletic center. And so I went with her in the golf cart. And after she got the mail and talked to her friends for quite a while, then Dad out of nowhere suggested that I should try driving the golf cart back because there wasn't very far to go between the mailbox and the house. Sure, why not? Just trust a 14-year-old with basically a car light. What could possibly go wrong? One thing I learned right away, however, is that the pedal is really sensitive. Whoa! Okay, Brady, this thing is very sensitive. Okay, Nana, let me try again. Where are we? I think we're in China. How can you tell? Well, I see their president over. I did get it eventually, by literally just tapping on it with my foot. And then we ate dinner. The first night, Nana and Papa told us about how at night the coyotes howl at around 8:30-ish. The first night, they went off, but it was very faint. That night, however, they were pretty loud. Like, it sounded like they were just in the backyard. And the funny part is, it was right when my mom was in the bathroom, so she didn't get to hear it. What'd I miss? The coyotes. Sunday was another pretty great day. We went swimming again in the morning, and we stayed at the house for a while. Then for dinner, we went to In-N-Out, and as the Odd Ones Out once said,
it's delicious.
While we were waiting for our number to be called, Dad and I decided to look at the 70th anniversary shirt that was on display. I told him that I liked it, and the next thing I knew, Nana had bought the shirt for me and Patrick. Yeah, one thing you'll learn about my Nana and Papa is that they're really nice. After that, we went to the Lights of the World Festival, which was pretty cool. And for those of you who don't know what the Lights of the World Festival is, it's basically a giant light show with rides and stuff to do as well. Now, originally Dad was like, no carnival games. Then like 10 minutes later, we decided that we would do some rides.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Me and Patrick rode the roller coaster, as that ride was the one I chose to do. Then, Mom wanted us to do a ride Patrick would want. Mom decided on riding the Tilt-A-Whirl. And I felt so terrible after that ride that I literally looked like I was drunk walking around. Later, Patrick wanted to do the roller coaster again. My dad offered to pay for the tickets, which were $18 for about 10 tickets. And my Nana was like, oh no, I'll pay for it. And my dad was like, no, it's fine. I'm already going.
Don't you dare.
Well, I guess I now know how I'm gonna pay for college. Ow. After that, we went back to the house. And once again, the coyotes really went off. And once again, Mom missed out on it, as her and Patrick had already went to bed. Monday was pretty interesting. We started off the morning by not having any idea on what to do. You see, we had originally planned that we would go to the Lights of the World on Monday, and then Sunday we would go to the Tucson Children's Museum because it's closed on Mondays. But we decided to head to the Lights of the World on Sunday instead, so we didn't have anything planned for the day. So that morning was a constant back and forth of us looking for things to do. And it didn't help that a lot of the places in Tucson aren't very handicap friendly, well at least the places I looked at, which half of them were mountains. So it was probably a good like hour and a half of us just being like, hey, should we do this? No. Okay. What about this? So anyways, me, Mom, and Patrick ended up going swimming, and I'd hoped by the time we would come back, Dad and Papa would have come up with an idea. And well, Papa did. I don't think Dad really did anything. He suggested that we go to the Reed Park Zoo. However, during lunch, Patrick kept crying. We still don't know why, although most of us believe it was because he was tired. Yeah, one thing I didn't mention is that Patrick got up at either 3 or 5 in the morning every day. Anyways, his crying continued through all of lunch, and we originally thought we just wouldn't go. But Mom, bless her soul, said that she didn't want me to lose out on an experience because of Patrick, and decided to stay home and watch him while everyone else went. So we went to the zoo, and it was actually pretty cool. Just kidding. The map we were given said there were jaguars. So after we looked around at the exact spot they would be on the map, we couldn't find them. All we could find is blue covering. And what I found out when we were leaving, it turns out they were coming soon. Why even have them on the map then? Couldn't you have put coming soon on the map, or at least use the old map and then distribute the new map once they're there?
0 out of 10, would not recommend.
Afterwards, we went back to the house via I-19, which, fun fact, is the only interstate in the country to use fully metric road signs. Anyways, we got back to the house and found out that once Patrick had stopped crying, he started asking for zoo. And by the time we got back, the zoo was closed for the day. Later that night, the coyotes came out, and this time Mom finally actually got to hear them. Well, we're here, the last day. And it was a rather long day. From the moment we got up, Patrick kept asking for and when we explained to him that it would be a while due to having to fly from Arizona to Colorado to Illinois, he would start having a meltdown. At the Tucson airport, he was mostly fine though, but that attitude won't stay for long. At the Tucson airport, the TSA lady approved our tickets and said, "Have a nice flight," and I said, "You too." Anyways, we landed in Denver, and remember how I mentioned we had to walk really far the first day? Well, this time, we landed at gate B11, and our flight home was at B93.
Bruh.
Also, Patrick kept having meltdowns in the airport, so that was fun. And the McDonald's there gave half of us the wrong drink. I ordered a high C, but they gave me like a Coke.
And when Mom went back up to ask for the right drink order, the guy there was just like, "No, that's a high C." Now, let me be sure to clarify. I loved the Arizona trip. Of course, there were some downsides, but every trip has its downsides. And I really enjoyed the trip. Well, looks like our plane's leaving, so I guess it's time to wrap the video up.
Are you saying my money's all gone?